Animal migration is the relatively long-distance movement of individuals, usually on a seasonal basis. The trigger for the migration may be local climate, local availability of food, or for the mating seasons. According to Kennedy, migratory behavior is persistent and straightened out movement effected by the animal's own locomotory exertions or by its active embarkation upon a vehicle. It depends on some temporary inhibition of station keeping responses, but promotes their eventual disinhibition and recurrence. Animals can migrate by land, air, and sea. Examples of migrants are elephants, monarch butterfly, and the great white shark. Asian and African elephants both migrate and they generally follow the same migratory routes annually. The distances are depending on the environmental conditions. The elephants migrate to escape the drought during dry season or to access more nutritious food or abundant water during the wet season. During the dry season in Africa, the elephant migration routes were recorded to extend over 100 kilometers. Meanwhile, Asian elephants' routes will extend between 20 and 50 kilometers. How the elephant migrates. There are three ways on how the elephant migrates depending on the environmental conditions. The first way is by individual family groups separate themselves from larger herd. It benefits in response of limited food sources. It will be led by a dominant female at the front and another at the back. This is to guard the rear. Next, the elephant will migrate by several family groups, usually between 2 to 5 individuals. This is to provide additional security along the migration. Thirdly, the elephant will migrate with the entire population joining together, usually around 500 individuals estimated. Hence, this will provide maximum protection along the migration, but the food resources must be enough to be supplied along the route. Annual migration of North America's monarch butterfly is a unique and amazing phenomenon. Apart from that, monarch butterfly is the only butterfly which known to make a two-way migration as birds do. They cannot survive the cold winters of northern climates. Hence, they migrate. Basically, they are using a combination of air currents and thermal to travel long distances, and they can fly as far as 3,000 miles. The monarch butterfly only travel during the day, and they will find a roost site at night. The roost sites are very important for monarch butterfly migration, such as pine tree, fir tree, and cedar tree. These trees, they have thick canopies that moderate the temperature and the humidity. In the morning, the monarch basks in the sunlight to warm themselves. As the warm temperature and the lengthening days arrive, the migratory of monarch ends. Hence, they will start to become reproductive, breed, and lay eggs. The great white sharks have been tracked of making seasonal migrations across the entire oceans, from South Africa to Australia and from New Zealand to the sunny shores of tropical New Caledonia and Tonga. The great white is known as the longest migrated fish, and they can travel in virtually a dead straight line. They spend most of the time on the top few feet of water during their log migrations, and they have the ability to see above the waterline. Hence, some researchers or scientists believe that the great white are navigating by using the stars. The great white sharks, like many other animals, they migrate for the purposes of mating and giving birth. These migrations are timed by seasons of the year, which cause the water temperature changes that may trigger the sharks to migrate to their breeding and pupping grounds. Migratory animals are very essential components of the ecosystems that support all life on Earth. The animals use predictable environmental cues for the timing and navigation of migration. Hence, a change in these cues will affect the phenology and extent of migration.